All right, guys, we are live. This is Professor G with the Real Fight Club Radio, where we get in the minds of real warriors. Up top, we have Gary, the silverback Mack, and down bottom, we have Brima. How do you say that? Brimeses.
Brian
Mr.
Meeses.
Brimeses Kamara, the king of kickboxing. All right, guys, introduce yourselves real quick. Just tell us, when you guys got started in training. I'm gonna have Gary go first. Just talk to us a little bit, brother.
I started about I want to say like 6 years ago, but like I told you just briefly, in between that 6 years, I took a 3 year layoff due to like a shoulder injury, birth of my daughter, COVID. Just recently fought 2 months ago, so it's good to be back. I'm excited to go up against a welly touted opponent.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, in that 6 years, what
Yes,
would
sir.
you say was your highlight moment? The moment that you said, "This is what I want to do."
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I always wanted to fight. My mom's ain't let me. She kept me in track and football. She single parent mom. She didn't really like the whole violence thing. But I would say the highlight of my career for me personally is not even a fight. When I got an opportunity to be a part of Jerry Hurst's camp when he was getting ready for Arizona Lara, and
Okay.
he was southpaw. So for me, I was a fan of his before I even started fighting, when he would turn pro and all that other stuff. So just to be in there with him and be someone that was there to help get him ready,
Good
it was
stuff.
that's still to this day one of my favorite moments in this sport. Just being
How'd
able
that
to go
camp
in there
go
and
for you?
spar with him, huh?
How'd that camp go for you? Like, how'd you feel during that camp?
And it was fun, man. You get paid, come in, do 10 rounds, and leave. So it's like I get paid to practice, coming in, basically have fun.
Now, tell
After
us the
that.
truth. Did you whoop up on him a little bit?
Nah, man. What happens in the jump stays in the jump. But I will say it was good bump. It was definitely
Yeah.
some good bump. He's definitely the hardest hitter I've ever been in front of.
Okay.
I can say that. So, but definitely good bump.
And my neighbor down bottom, brother Abe, what's up, man? Tell us how you got started. Well, I know when you got started, how you got started. I remember seeing you in the gym, your first competition at Jack's gym, man. Like, I was like, what's this little skinny kid doing up in here, man? And then he
Yeah.
just turned into like this world champion. Like, tell us about that, man.
Well, I moved down the street from Jack's gym when I was 16, turning 17, and I used to do kung fu and stuff before that. I was always into comic books, anime, manga, an honorable duel, that kind of stuff, a fair fight, and you know I wanted to train and advance in martial arts still when I moved. So I walked up the street and got my mom to sign me up at the gym. Like right before I was turning 17, and fast forward about 10 years later, I ended up owning the gym, and I'm the head coach, owner, whatever the case may be. So
Okay.
and I'm happy to be here in general. So yeah,
Now,
fighting's always
what
gonna be a
was
part
your
of my life.
highlight moment?
Huh?
Give me your highlight moment when you said, "Yeah, this is what I want to do."
This is what I want to do. It's there was always something inside of me that wanted to become a professional fighter, even before I got into fighting. I guess similar to Gary. So, um, like I just knew that I wanted to do that. I was like a big fan of like kung fu movies and being able to get into a fight, not just like out of maliciousness or like self defense, but like be able to push yourself or test yourself. That's something I always wanted to do. Like I remember saying that I was like 13 when I knew like jack squat about fighting and whatnot. That I wanted to be a a boxer, a kickboxer, or something like that. So and coming to Jack's gym, like brought it on me. I came to Jack's gym, and then a few months later, after joining Jack's gym, I had my first fight, and then the rest is history.
Now, Gary, have you met or seen Brima compete, or you guys sit and talk before, or anything like that?
I wouldn't say I seen him in person compete, but like I know he's fought a couple of my teammates and a couple of people that like I've trained with before.
Okay.
So I'm very, very familiar with him. I think the year he went to Worlds was the year before I started training and level up. But I believe my teammate Pat was there at that time. Correct me if
Okay.
I'm wrong, Brown, but I believe Pat was there with him. So
I Somebody was from Level Up. I'm not familiar with a Pat though.
yeah,
Even a
yeah,
year before,
Pat,
year after,
somebody
but
was there. Somebody was there, but yeah, definitely familiar with his work.
Okay. So what, like, when I heard that you stepped up to take this fight on your debut, like, was there any second guess? Was there any question? Was there any research that you needed first?
Nah, like for me, like my whole career, like mind you, I got 16 fights, 15-1. You know, I got 9 amateur titles. So better, my most of my career has been against people with well than enough experience than me. Double, triple. You know, my fourth fight, I fought a talented fighter named Wes Argrove from Colorado. I was 3-0 at the time. He was 24-3. So it's like I always kept that mindset. It's like if you want to do this, records don't really matter. How many fights the next man doesn't really matter. I want to go in there and compete with the best, and like I said, prove that I belong. So um, initially we were supposed to be fighting on Triumphant out
Mhm.
Vegas, and I was supposed to fight some guy from Stockton, California. The whole card had got shut down because of the COVID situation out Vegas.
Okay.
Um, so when Jason reached out to you, and I guess you threw back the name. It's funny because I just had seen him at my last competition. I said, "Yeah, I'll take it." I know, like I said, I know his work. I'm familiar with him. Like a tough opponent, somebody I like to be in there with and test myself. So it was no second guessing at all. It was sign me up.
Good stuff. Now,
Mhm.
Brima, what challenges do you face with, owning a gym, running a gym, and then training for a fight like this?
Um, I mean, it's kind of difficult, I had a couple of people that were supposed to fight on the card. Some of them got injured, some of them couldn't make it. So we're down to just two of us fighting on the card. I'm a gym owner. I'm a multiple entrepreneur. I do 100 different things. Jack of all trades, master of none. But I'm sure you kind of know how that goes. I mean, it's a struggle, but at the same time, life's supposed to be a struggle. I'm not looking for no I've arrived moment or some aha moment really. As a man, you always gotta look for growth, and I'm not looking to be comfortable. I'm trying to be very comfortable being uncomfortable. So if I feel like I'm comfortable where I'm at, whether it's fighting or business or a new venture for me, I'm in the wrong spot. So
Now, knowing that Mr. Silverback up here is making his debut, what gives you the drive and the hunger to make sure that you come up on top?
well, there's several things that I could say about that, but most recently, I think this came out of your mouth. You said one of the kings of kickboxing in Delaware, and I was hurt, Greg. I was hurt. I was
Well,
like, not the king. I was like, so I guess I fell off because for my, I mean, of course I was extremely dominant as an amateur fighter. I think you remember, Greg. I fought all the names across the country, across the internationally and whatnot. Beat the vast majority of them. And everybody was literally kicking me out of answers, like get out of here, get out of here. Um,
well, you know why I said one of the kings. I haven't completely passed the torch, young brother.
excuse me, sir. I'm sorry. Yeah. But obviously, I made some mistakes in my pro career. I've dropped the ball. And I have to own that and accept that as a man. And and this is no disrespect to Gary, man. I didn't want to necessarily fight a debut fighter, but I know Gary. I don't know him that personally, but I met him a few times. I know he's about it. He won WK Worlds. I mean, not WK Nationals. I mean, I won WK Nationals before, and I know he's gonna come and fire a tree like it's the best five of his greatest five of his life so far. So I have to treat it like that, and I can't overlook it. And I got respect for the guy. How much I like to talk trash. If I was to talk trash, it'd be kind of fake right now. I got, you know,
So,
nothing malicious
Gary,
to
what do you
say.
think? Like, what is some of the your regimen that you feel like you got to make sure that you on top of as you getting ready for this fight? Tell us, just walk us through your training day.
Honestly, I don't want to sound cliche, but I just work, man. Like kind of like what Brima said. Like you got in this sport, I feel like you gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable. There's no situation, especially when you get to these levels, the high class amateur levels, the mid tier, high tier pro levels, where you are going to be comfortable inside that ring. So I go out and I spar with the top guys in Maryland. I spar with the Mike Foxes of the world, currently top 10 in the WBA. To his brother Lantez Fox, currently top 10 in the WBO. Sadiq Yusuf, currently in the UFC, and I put myself in these situations with these guys, and of course, many others. So when I get in there, it's a little bit easier. You know, you've been there before. It's not nothing that you haven't seen. It's not nothing that you need to fear. It's just you put in the work. You get into the fight. You trust your work. You trust the work that you put in. So for me, I rely a lot on sparring people that I respect personally, in and outside the sport. A lot of running. Like I said, I ran track for about 10, 12 years, so I run a lot. You know, sometimes just even on my time off, I still ran just because I enjoy running. It clears my mind, and it's like a lot of regular training stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just
Right.
get in the gym every day, put in the work, and leave no stone unturned for real, for real.
Now, Brima, I'm gonna ask you this: what do you feel gives you an edge in this fight?
I'm not gonna get asked the same question. Well, um, I think experience. I guess experience right now is one thing. I think I have. You know, I'm used to this kind of like arena a little bit more than Gary is. I think I bring a little bit more speed, a little bit more of a crazy arsenal. No respect to this arsenal. I know he's talented himself. That gives me an edge. And on top of that, like you said, like you addressed me as one of the kings. I have like a big purpose here, and I mean, and it's Gary's job to prevent that from happening. But I got to reestablish myself, not only just for myself, but like my team, the people that look up for me, like the state of Delaware. Because I mean, I was for the very long time very much the gatekeeper of Delaware, and I've let a lot of people down. I got to reestablish that, and I can't rely on somebody else to step up. And I mean, eventually the torch is going to be passed from you, Greg, to somebody else, not me. But until that happens, I gotta represent and serve that purpose and hold it down for the area.
Now, walk us through your day of training.
I used to get up in the morning, like run about 5+ miles, like around Glasgow. Glasgow. You were
Yeah.
from right? Yeah. Hit the gym for hours some change. Go run my errands, have my business stuff, teach, come back, train again, teach again, do my business stuff, and I'm kind of a workaholic. I do a lot of stuff. I'm a struggle juggling a little bit. I have several businesses that I own and run, and I'm still expanding different stuff. So I'm not, and it finds it more really important because like I did an interview with Adam Chris not long ago, and I said before I want people to acknowledge me or remember me as Brima the businessman, Brima this, or whatever. I want to be known as kind of like Muhammad Ali or Floyd Mayweather. Not saying I'm as great as them, but I want to be known as Brima the fighter, the warrior first, and then the businessman and the entrepreneur and this, that, and everything later.
I got you. All right. So, what we got? 302 Jacks in the house. Let me post that one up, my man. All right. So, with I'm going to get off topic a little bit. With some of your hobbies outside of training, trying to get your mind loose, just trying to hang out. Gary, what are some of the things that you do just to relax, sit back, and not have that, that stress of the fight on your mind?
I mean, firstly, like fighting not stressful for me. Like I like being here. You know what I'm saying? I like being in the gym and stuff. But outside of that, like to take that edge off, I guess, playing video games, chilling with my daughter, chilling with my fiance. Just trying to be something that I didn't have growing up. I really take joy in that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where all my extra time goes to. If I'm not in the gym, if I'm not at work, I'm making sure my daughter know daddy around, making sure my fiance got a good, situation
Indeed.
going on. And of course I can get better at that, just like I can get better at fighting every day. But like you said, that's a journey. That's the beauty of it, the journey. So that's like my free time. I don't really I'm not your typical go out, and I don't do all that. I'm really into anime too. I read a lot of manga. That's about it. Anime, manga, rap battles, video games.
What's crazy is when I
That's
was a
it.
kid, man. When I was a kid, like liking anime, and like we had to suppress and hide that thing, man.
Yeah, nah, that's a fact. That's
Come
a
out
fact.
with it.
Listen, it's not just you. I don't know how old Brima is. I'm 27, but even when I
I'm
was
older than you, bro. I'm 30.
yeah, so even when I was in high school, it was something that I kept it tucked in the back pocket, and when you found out, they try to mess with you, and you just had to shine. Us nerds can, we can get it in
Man,
too.
Can I say that? Can I use slurs? No, my bad. I know I said, but people were hating on me back in high school for like playing Pokemon and stuff during class.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gay? I'm like, are you gay? It's Pokemon, bro. What are you talking about? I still play Pokemon. I'm 30. And I'm not gonna stop.
That's hilarious.
Man, I know when they came out with that game, man, and everybody was outside and running around with that stuff. In the middle of the night, I'm hearing voices outside my house. I look out my window, I got people all in my yard, man. What the hell is this? I come outside and they're like, "Oh, we're looking for Pokemon. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be in your yard." But this is something I ask everybody, man. I try to get this question into my students that come in, and some of them really have no idea. But either one of you guys can answer first. But the question is, what is your why? Why do you do this? Why do you put yourself through this? Like, what is the what is the end result, and what gives you that drive?
Am I answering first, or
you can go ahead, champ?
Oh, well, really, why not? Like, I got a lot of stuff going on. I had injuries before this fight, illnesses, and I know the main event pulled out, so therefore I was reestablishing my rightful place, and I guess Gary as well as main event. But why I would hate to think about how my life would be like right now if I didn't take this fight. Like, I'm miserable. I don't like the Brima that exists that's not a fighter, and that's why I'm fighting. And so I don't want to be. I want to, like, Gary got a kid, I got a kid. I don't look at my child's face and like, I'm a coward. I don't fight. This is, we're men. It's our job. We're supposed to, face those battles. Overcome challenges. And whether it's scary or not, like, bravery is not about not being scared, not being fearless. It's about facing your fears and overcoming challenges. What do you mean? Like, I like. The fact that I'm training and fighting now, I really enjoy my life. Even though I haven't been doing like as much business stuff as I normally do, I really enjoy myself right now because I'm actually training to fight. That's what I love to do. And it's been so long since I've been inside that ring, and I'm really happy about that. So I might consider fighting. I'm going to try to stay really active after this fight, God willing. But what do you mean? Why not? I can't live normal.
Okay.
I would say my why, like I said, it's gonna sound cliche, man. I just like to fight, Growing up, man, like me and my brother, we about 14 months apart. No father in the house, so it's always that you trying to learn how to be a man with your little brother, you know what I'm saying, and vice versa with your big brother. We always got into it with each other, but we moved around a lot, and every time we moved around, I made sure he stayed in the house, and I go outside and figure out what's going on outside before, he come out there, So I always been in altercations, if I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been in a lot of altercations before I started fighting as a craft, and it's just one day I hit a low point in my life, man. I won't go too much into deep detail, but I hit a low point, and I got on my knees. I prayed to God, and I just asked him, like, "What am I here to do?" And one day I walked into McDonald's. Some dude asked me, "Do you play sports? You do this? Oh, you should come check our gym out." I end up not staying at that gym. I end up going to Level Up. But, the first time I was in there, I sparred Jason, I sparred Luther, I sparred Pat. Those guys thought I had fights already. I'm like, nah, I've been training for a month. I just like to fight. And it's been that ever since. Like, my amateur career, like I said, the last 2 fights I just fought 2 months ago, it was the last 2 fights. So you think those other 14 fights all happened in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I was just an active fighter. Like I said, I just like being in there. I like fighting. I like getting better. I like seeing that somebody can push me to that point that, I may gotta learn something about myself. So I want to see if anybody can meet that challenge. I guess the best way I can put it, you ever watch 300 in the pot when they're looking over the cliff and they're looking at the ships, and he's like, "Why you laughing?" He was like, "Maybe one of these guys can give me a beautiful death." And that's genuinely how I feel about fighting. I want to go out there, and I'm looking for that.
That's beautiful. I had one of my young students ask me, "What's my why?" And my why was really learning to deal with life. Like you said, how you and your brother came up. Like that's why I fought. It was to give me a way to deal with life without getting myself in trouble and kind of clear my head.
Exactly.
But I want to get into this, man. I'm gonna start digging a little bit. Brima, what do you feel, or how do you feel this fight is going to end, and how and why?
I feel like I'm gonna be victorious, and if you're gonna shake the pot a little bit, you're paying us extra bonus money, not life changing money. It's kickboxing, obviously, to win by knockout or stoppage or whatever. So I guess me and Gary are both fighting you for your pocket money. So I mean, like Gary said, it was a beautiful death. I know you're supposed to try to give me a beautiful death, and we're warriors, and we're gonna try to take each other's heads off, in the most disrespectful and respectful way possible. We're warriors, but we have more in common than people on the street could ever understand because we are warriors. And I wish him the best. I'm sure he wish me the best, but it's war, bro, and we're men.
Word, but how you gonna knock him out?
I've never been one of those people that said it's gonna be this exact shot. I mean, I think when you fight, you got to be sharp and make that split-second decision. So it might be just a lot of pressure, a combination of a single strike. So, and you just don't. I think it's kind of ridiculous when people say, especially when it comes to kickboxing, because like if it's boxing, maybe that right hand or left hand can knock you out, because it's boxing. But I've never been somebody that says like it's gonna be this exact strike, this is exact moment or whatever. Round 2 at minute 1:17 seconds. Like, you know what I mean? That's a
Okay.
little fugazi to me, but I mean, I'm coming out there to win. I'm training to win. I've sacrificed position that I'll be able to take a fight, and I'd overcome a lot just to make sure I'll be healthy enough to do it. So
Now I know Gary's a debut fighter. He also has 15 wins and only one loss. Do you feel he's a danger to you?
I mean, I have exponential amount of fights than he does, but it's not like you fight the person, not the number. I mean, even when I had Gary's experience, I fought people, at the world championship, they had like 100 fights or 60 fights. Like I'm kind of used to that, and it's about being hungry. So like, I mean, I honestly do feel as if, my experience does give me an edge in this fight, but it would also be hypocritical to be like, because I have so many fights. Like, I mean, I've lost fights clearly against people that didn't have my experience because I didn't take it serious enough, or I made mistakes, and then I beat people that, who were world champions before me, even as a professional. So, it's if he's hungry, he wants to be there. That's the issue, not his record.
I feel you. Gary, same question.
The first question was like, how I think the fight gonna go, right?
Yep. How you gonna win?
Respectfully, I'm knocking him out, bro. Like I said, I respect him. As a fighter, I respect him as a man. I respect him as a gym owner. But when we get in there, man, it's a different switch. It's not Gary the family man. It's not Gary the building supervisor. I'm here. I'm silverback. I'm never one to shy away to tell people how I feel about the fight. Like, I think he's a hell of a fighter. Like, dog, let's not get that misconstrued. I think he has a lot of talent. I think he's great. I think he's in the position that he's in because of his talent. But I also see a lot of holes in this game, and I think he's going to go out. Honestly.
How do you think you're gonna do that?
Again, it's a lot of holes in this game. So it's multiple ways that can happen. Like I said, training camp has been going good. Been working on a few things. Honestly, I've done played this fight in my head thousands of times already. I'm a really good visual learner. It kind of sounds like when I explain it to most people that don't get it, or Brima probably gets it because he watch a lot of anime. But you know how like you watch Baki, or you watch the other one that's on Netflix. It's like Baki, and they can do the astral projection and all that other shit. And like
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I feel like I do that a lot, and like I said, I respect this game. I would be set up here be lying to say if I haven't watched film and I haven't, really, really locked in on them. I have, and that's why I know there's a lot of holes in this game. So I can't tell you the exact shot like you said. I mean, anything can happen in there, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see nothing other than a knockout coming from this.
Okay. So you want that bonus? Everybody wants that bonus.
It's
Want that
not even a
bonus?
bonus. It's not even a bonus for me, man. Like that's the thing. Like that's why I say I don't like to sound cliche.
I got you.
Fighting. I got a house, got cars. You know what I'm saying? Fighting don't finance my life. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my first pro fight. I'm here because I want to be here. I just want to fight. So the bonus ain't got nothing to do with it. I like to fight, man. So.
Now, what do you see yourself doing? Like, what's the next step after this fight?
So I want to see what Triumphant got going on because I was looking forward to the guy they had lined up for me. I really wanted to fight him. But I know in February I'm doing the Waco tournament out in Nashville, Tennessee. If I win my bracket, I'll be a part because I'm pretty sure you guys know, but Muay Thai and kickboxing has just got officially accepted by the Olympics. So I'll be doing a Waco tournament in February. Winners of those brackets will go on to the World Games with Team USA next summer. So that's the plan for me. After this, is focusing on that to make that World Games. And of course, you go to a tournament, when these fights go to your pro record, I can go in 1-0 and leave 7-0. And then I can start asking for different numbers. So just trying to play it smart and doing the things that's going to give me a little recognition out there by the bigger fish. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
My bad, go ahead.
You said for me?
Yeah. What is the next step after this fight?
Like I said before, I do want to stay active. I'm pretty sure Friday Night Fights will probably call me when they get things going again. I was actually unaware of that Waco tournament, and but I was familiar with like kickboxing, Muay Thai being accepted in the Olympics, and people have asked me recently, like, would you compete in kickboxing and Muay Thai in the Olympics? And I was like, I mean, that'll be a good idea if the opportunity presents itself. So, but that's something I wasn't thinking about before until Gary said it. So.
Yeah, bro. I honestly,
you might try that.
Yeah, I'm about to say I recommend it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a smart move. Like, not even just for me, for you, for any fighter that's pro or amateur. The biggest thing with us fighters is the recognition and getting out there. That's how you get other people to, bring you in the fight. And with you being pro, with me being pro at this time, we go in that junk with that, whatever our record is, and say you get 8-9 fights. Now you walking out with 8-9 more fights on your record. And now you can ask for X amount. You get what I'm trying to say? So I definitely think
exactly.
It's a smart move, regardless if we make it to the World Games or not. I think it's a smart move for any fighter that's serious about this fight life. So for sure, yeah, definitely think about it, bro.
We're looking at our next event being March 26th after the November event, and trying to bring the winner back. Actually, may be able to bring both you guys back, but whoever the winner is, we're looking to bring back and have a step up fight from that. Somebody with even more experience or even more danger to present in that ring.
Looking forward to it.
The now, this is something that some of the young students may ask you guys that are around. Put this on the live. How many hours a week as a pro athlete do you put into your craft?
So
okay.
You can go. You may go. You can go.
I'll go. All right. I'm guessing on average it's about like on a daily basis, due to my schedule, because I have a very, very stacked itinerary on a daily basis. I mean, I don't take any days off, pretty much ever, from like work essentially, or the different kind of tests I got to do. But since I've been fighting, I've been averaging like 3 to maybe 4 hours a day of training. Training like on average like 5 6 days a week.
Okay, you break those hours up and you keep them straight.
I usually break them up because I have, I can't train straight through with, owning a gym and owning several businesses. It doesn't quite work that easy to go straight through. I used to train like that though. I miss those days. I used to just kind of, because I was so addicted to being in the gym. I'll be in the gym. Sometimes I could for like 6 hours at a time, and that would keep me like, get out of here. I would literally get up in the morning, go to school, come back, go to the gym, go back to school, go to school, come back and stay the entire day there. But it kind of changed, so.
Okay, Gary.
I would say to the young fighters, like I'm a big believer in quality over quantity. You got a lot of fighters that will go out here and run, let's say 3 miles, right? and they'll run 3 miles in about 30 minutes, knowing damn well they can probably push 24, 23. And that's what I mean by quality over quantity. Me, like I said, I'm a family man, so I be working my ass off in life, you know what I'm saying? But straight up, it's just, it varies. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some days I listen to my body, some days I go all out. But if I can give you just a roundabout number, I would
Mhm.
say I'm training about 30, 35 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? Just as much as I'm working. You know, I'm my fiance in the other room. You're going to ask her. I spend 16, 17-hour days out the house, you know, and I just
Nice.
literally home to sleep, you know. So, but to young fighters, it's definitely quality over quantity. You don't just, you got to believe in what you're doing, and you actually got to like be putting in the work. Just showing up to the gym, just hitting the bag, hitting the mitts, and
Indeed.
being in the class, that's not training. That's a hobby. Training is pushing yourself each and every day to get to the next level.
I want to remind any of the viewers who are watching, if you guys got any questions, just type your question in, and either of these guys can answer your questions. If you have one directed to either one of them, just type your questions in. We'll show it on the screen, and they can answer. Anything you want to give us, Brima? Anything you want to talk to us about?
Not necessarily. I was waiting for the comments or questions just now when you said it. So
Yeah, I'm hoping they
I got
start
a
coming
question.
through. But the now your let's talk
Okay.
about dieting. You guys, some guys look to break their diet and start to lose a couple pounds. Some guys look to try and cut the weight. Last week or two. How do you guys work it?
I mean, I've been vegan for several years. My weight's been great. I don't gotta really cut a lot of weight for this fight. Sitting at probably like 163 right now.
Okay.
And I mean, I was, as we spoke earlier about the fight before we got matched up. Yeah, I was trying to fight down in 140, and that's where I plan on fighting after this fight.
Okay.
And I've been able to eat pretty much everything, and I'm still trying to grow as a person to be more disciplined because I've still been able to eat,
Okay.
candy and soda and stuff like that. But I am trying to become more diligent, and I think I promised myself at age 30 that I will live a healthier lifestyle through my 30s than I did my 20s. I never smoked or drank anything in my life, but I've been doing that so far. I've cut back on the sugar tremendously since I've been 30, I think. So here we are.
All right. And how does a silverback eat?
I ain't gonna lie to you. This is my first camp I actually died in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily eat bad. Like, I eat a lot of chicken, fish, seafood, greens, but my biggest weakness is pasta. So I had to cut pasta out. I love pasta, Alfredo, rice, anything starchy, I love it. But this one, with being at 155, my last night 2 months ago, I had to be I think the max weight was like 158, and I came in at like 157 comfortably, but I just want to be um needs no stone unturned with this weight cut. 'Cause I want to make sure I'm on weight. So just been trying to not to stay away from my pastas, leaning out a little bit. My walking around is it's down by like I want to say like 12 pounds. Normally around this time for a fight I'm about like 180, 182. I'm waking up anywhere from like 70, 73 right now. So
Okay.
just trying to stay lean and eat the right things. A lot of meat, a lot of greens, a little bit of
Yeah, I
carbs
noticed
here and
the
there.
comment that came up says Troop Nation. What is Troop Nation?
Yeah, that's my brother. So that's my brother I was telling you about. So if you're not familiar, a family of silverbacks is called troops. Those are the troops. So Troop Nation, we talked about that on the phone the other night. So I'm the silverback. You see the Planet of the Apes before you had Caesar here. We waiting. We waiting here to the sixth. The troops will be in the building though, for sure, for sure.
Okay. Doesn't look like we have any questions coming up. We have a lot of support coming up. We got Adam, we got Paris, Kurt, Sean.
302 in the building.
Here's a
Jackson in the
question. Oh,
building.
here we go.
Delaware in the building.
Gary, do you feel your ring activity opposed to Brima's inactivity will play a factor in this fight?
Hell nah, man. Look, Brima was just at my last fight. That was me coming off 3 years ago. I was off for 3 whole years, and I knocked the dude out in the first round. I'm not falling for that. Like I said, I respect that man over there. I know he's a hell of a fighter. Whether he's fought in 2, 3 years or not, I know he's been training. I know he's been training since he got the word for this fight. So I don't think the inactivity would give me an advantage. I think if anything, it may mess with him a little bit mentally, just because he hasn't been in there. And the only reason I say that because it fucked with me a little bit mentally going into WKs. Like, shit, I ain't been in it 3 years. What if I get in there and my controller just died? I forget what to do. You know what I'm saying? But no, I don't think it gives me an advantage. I think he'll be well prepared to be in there.
Yeah, I'm not a believer of arbitrary things like ring rust, but that's just me. But
nah, facts. Me neither.
So,
That's
yeah,
it. Like, you know.
Yeah, I believe in God and stuff like that, but I don't believe in,
Nah, I mean, I
Yeah.
would say ring rust to an extent. It depends what you're doing in your time off. Like I said, my
Yeah.
time off, my 3 years off, although I was on and off with training, every time I was training, it was coming in to help somebody with a camp. Like I said, those names that I mentioned earlier. So I'm getting good work in, and then I go back home, sit on the couch, handle my family business. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure with his 2 years off, because I believe your last fight was with PJ, correct?
Nah, but
After
close.
that. Close, okay. It was something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
I'm
something
pretty,
like that. Yeah,
I'm pretty
I know
sure
what you
he's
mean.
been training. I'm pretty sure he's been training, preparing for a fight. You dig what I'm saying? And shit probably just went left. So I don't think ring rust gonna really affect him too much. I'm expecting him to be in there, moving, doing this Brima shit. You know, I expect him to be in
Thank
there.
you, man.
Of
I
course.
appreciate it for
Nah, no question.
labeling it properly.
Yeah, no questions, no questions.
Okay, we got a question here. How much sparring do you guys put in gearing up for a fight?
Shit, a lot. I told you, man. I like to fight, dog. I don't care if it's sparring. I love, like, when I say I like to fight, it's not necessarily like, let me just fight. Like, I love the beauty of the sport. Like, to me, I always tell people that don't fight, this is high stakes chess. Everything's happening in such split seconds. And it's like, imagine, like, professional chess players is make a move, make a move, make a move. So you're thinking so fast, but one fuck up, you lose your rook in there, that may be the end of the fight. It's not, you just lost your rook. You dig what I'm saying? So I spar a lot, man. I spar a hell of a lot.
So how many rounds you think you would get in a week?
In a week, it depends on who I'm sparring with. Like, if I'm going to go box and stuff like that, we don't, the guys I box with, minimum 6 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes go to 10, sometimes 12. If it's kickboxing and Muay Thai at my home gym, it depends on if it's an event or who's in the gym. But most of the time, like, especially for this camp, I've been just getting Shark Tank, having guys come in and just do on 10 3-minute rounds and hopping up out of there. So, like, I want to say for this camp, I started this camp a week after my last joint. So I want to say for this camp, I probably got over like maybe like 70, 80 rounds for real. Not the, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit more. But that's just giving you a rough number, like 78. It's been about 8 weeks, right? Since like, 2 months. So probably like 80, 70, 80 rounds, man. Honestly.
Brima?
I haven't necessarily been keeping track of the rounds, but I've been definitely getting rounds in. Both boxing, both kickboxing, and Muay Thai from like different look. The boxing gym culture is very much super aggressive, pretty much like fighting. You know what I mean? Kickboxing, at least the way we do it at Jackson, is kind of closer to that. And then I even spar to people like Rami used to do like the Shark Tank, and they're a little bit more like a softer, more respectful kind of sparring. And so I've been getting some well-versed sparring, and
Yeah, seen you had the Dover boys coming up getting some.
Oh yeah. I think Carlos is in the chat, man. Carlos probably gonna be the next Jaron Ennis.
Nice.
South, you know what I mean? That guy's
seen his last fight.
Huh?
I've seen his last fight. He looks good, man.
Yeah, man. He's fighting this week. I'm gonna probably support him, and even amongst the pro boxers I sparred with, he's probably even better than them. And we've been going at it, and every time we sparred in the gym, they said, "Was that an actual fight?" I was like, "No, that was just sparring." I'm like,
yeah. It get tough in there.
He gets down, and he's only 18, so hey, it's remarkable that guy's talent. I think in a couple years, I think he'd be like a professional world champion, still amateur though. But
See, the Silverback got a lot of support hitting up.
Yeah, they came in. I'm sure they're gonna come in soon, you know.
I told you, man, the troops will be in the building, man. I barely got any tickets left, big dog. The troops will be there. They will be there.
So let's tell some folks where they can find you on social media, Gary.
Shit, what is my Instagram name is Monkey D Mack. If you don't know where the Monkey D comes from, there you go. From anime called One Piece, you know what I'm saying? Monkey D Mack. My middle name, yes, it starts with a D, so it's not just for the name, but that's my Instagram now. I'm not on Twitter right now. My Twitter got hacked. I lost all my followers. I said, fuck that. And Facebook, just Gary Mack.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Brima?
You know, Brima Kamara on Facebook. The Honorable Brimeses. Brimes is on Instagram, YouTube, as it's spelled below.
I'm surprised you guys ain't on TikTok.
I'm set up with my employees and my team to like start developing content for TikTok eventually. But you know, I honestly I hate social media. Like, if it wasn't for the sake of it, like literally being a pipeline of money, I wouldn't be on social media at all.
I feel you.
Unless you know these. Actually, I'm not gonna go there. I don't care. You know, these chicks be on social media, but you know, very white stuff now. So.
All right, well, we'll continue to have this up on our YouTube page. We'll share it on some of the other social media. You guys be sure to share. I don't see any more questions, so we're going to go ahead and sign off. Anything you want to close us out with, Gary?
I do got a question. He said,
you just said
early in the interview, he said he think he has a speed advantage. You truly believe that?
I believe I do. I don't really
no explanation needed. I just want to know that's what you believe. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. We'll see on the 6th.
Yeah, we are going to see on the 6th.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Come from it, run from it. What did Thanos say? Destiny meet you all the same.
Hey, I promise you one thing, brother. I would not be doing no running.
You got a question for him, Brima?
I'll tell you
that.
Nah.
All right.
Much
all
love.
Right, this is the real Fight Club. I'm sorry.
Healthy, see you on the 6th, brother.
All right, brother.
Yeah. Stay safe. Make sure y'all get to that weigh-in. Don't mess that up.
Nah, we good. I got you. For sure.
All right. This is the Real Fight Club Radio signing off.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad. I don't got a question now. Shit. But whatever.
It's all good. I'll wrap to y'all soon. Y'all be safe.
All right, brother. You can.